My name is Patrick. I grew up in a very Irish Catholic home. I even chose St. Patrick to be my patron saint for my confirmation. I am very proud to be Irish. The more I learned about myths, I realized the effect Christianity had on pagan myths, and I wanted to search for the belief of Irish culture before Christianization took place. Unlike the more popular Roman and Greek myths, it was hard to figure out exactly what pre-Christian Ireland myths were like. This is mainly due to a lack of literacy throughout Ireland, and most of the myths were shared verbally. Researchers have made a great deal of progress on finding out the original version of these Irish myths and their true forms. They found these myths were filled with mysticism, and they believed in charms for healing and other ailments. They prayed to the seas and to the skies and to the trees of the forest. Most of all, they enjoyed retiring to the wilderness to write poetry and practicing their magic. For instance, the Tuatha De Danann was a magical race of godlike creatures that the people of Ireland worshipped. When Christianity came to Ireland, they did not like the idea of more than one god, so they made them out to be fairies and goblins. There is also Finn MacCool. He is one of the most well-known heroes of Ireland, and he is portrayed as the greatest Irishman ever. He's had all the knowledge of the world from eating a salmon of knowledge. In some of his stories, he is a giant. As a giant, he has formed some of the land features throughout Ireland, such as the Giant's Causeways. The myth goes that Finn got into an argument with another giant all the way over in Scotland and threw boulders into the water, creating a path. He created this path to reach the other giant, but when he got there, he realized that the giant was much bigger than he saw when he was so far away. Finn then retreated to Ireland, realized the best way to beat him was to outsmart him. He pretended he was a baby of a giant, and when the giant came from Scotland and he saw Finn and thought it was a baby, then he didn't want to stick around to meet the parents, and the giant fled back to Scotland. There are many myths of his deeds and how he became the leader of a band of heroes called the Finian, and how he saved an entire town from being burned down by an angry god. When Christianity came to Ireland, they saw him as morally corrupt and did not like how he practiced magic, so they changed his story. By about 850 AD, they had completely altered the myths to make him out to be a drunkard. Other myths the Christians told to make him out to be a Satanist that his band of outlaws pledged their loyalty and code of death to. Cuchulainn was another hero of Ireland that I found changed by Christianity. They did not change him as a person as much as they changed the things he said. For example, he called upon the elements to help him in his battles. The pagan culture believed in invocation of the elements and not prayers to the Lord. Early writings of Cuchulainn defending Ulster against the warriors of Queen Mab, because all the men of Ulster of adult age were cursed to feel the pains of labor and were incapacitated. Cuchulainn says, "I beseech the waters to assist me, I beseech heaven and earth, and Crone especially. Take ye hard warfare against them. May sea pouring not abandon them until the work of Fen crushes them on the north mountain O'Shane." Then it is said the water rose to the tops of the surrounding trees and drowned 30 of the Queen's horsemen. The Christians turned this beseechment into a prayer, saying, "I adore the Lord who possesses wondrous structures, bright heaven with assemblies of angels, white wave of ocean on earth." Ireland had been weakened by famine, and the powerful Church of Britain came in and took over. The saints that came out of Ireland started out as heroes, and the rest were almost lost forever. It was evident that whom the Christians did not agree with would be slandered or altered. This time of change was full of violence and slavery, brought by the Christians, and the culture of pagan Ireland that loved to write poetry and loved the wildlife and land was changed forever.